All right, and we are live. Let's see who else is awake out there tonight. It is Michael Myers Monday. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. How's everybody doing tonight? So we already got a few friends up in the live chat kicking us off. I saw Byron up in here, and there's Matt. Aesthetic 80s to 90s vibes. We got Ken up in here. Good to see all you guys. I think we're gonna have a good night tonight. I'm probably not gonna be on here very long because not a whole lot of news to discuss this week, but I do have a few items. And as people start to filter in here, there's Phil. Hello, Phil. Welcome. Yeah, feel free to chime in on the live chat. If you're new here, I'm Matt Arts with Halloween Daily News. Welcome to our weekly live broadcast where we connect with fans of the Halloween movie franchise and discuss all things Michael Myers and the Halloween movie franchise. And this is our first Monday of April, guys. That's pretty much the big news. We're in April. We're 10 days away from April 15th, which is going to make it exactly 6 months to the day before the theatrical release, the scheduled theatrical release of Halloween Kills. That's going to put us within the 6-month mark. Are we going to get a teaser poster? We'll see. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Right now, as people are finding the stream and filtering in, I'm just going to quickly run through our 3 different variations of the Michael Myers Deluxe head masks by Trick or Treat Studios that we do currently have in stock at our online store, HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. I usually like to do a show and tell. These are selling, and that's why we are now 6 months before the season, before October. And as I've said, most of these masks will not last. Certainly not this guy. This is the Halloween 1978. This is one of them. You can see it's got Trick or Treat's version of the castle stretch going on. And this is the Michael Myers Halloween 1978 Deluxe head mask. You can see the back of it. And these are $60 plus shipping. And if you order any of these 3 Myers masks that I'm going to show you tonight, in the next 24 hours, I will throw in an extra treat in the box when we ship it out to you. But you have to let me know that you watched this broadcast and then you ordered one of these 3 masks. So either let me know by commenting on here after you've done this, send us an email, contact me through DMs, whatever works for you. Just say, hey, I just purchased one of your masks under this name, and we'll confirm that. And before we ship it out, within 24 hours, we will throw an extra surprise in the box for you. So, again, these are the ones that are selling the quickest right now. As I've said, they're not going to be around in October. They're probably not going to be around this summer. Probably going to be sold out of them by the time we even get the Kills mask in. Now, we also have, this is the Boogeyman. You see him back here looking over my shoulder all the time, each week. This is Trick or Treat Studios Boogeyman mask. It's much more of a Shatner look to it, with the way the eyes are cut, and this has sealed lips. There is no slit in the mouth. And this is, of course, the idea is that this is from the closing moments, the climax of the 78 film. There you can see the neck wound from where Michael was stabbed in the neck near the end of the film. So we do have a few of these Boogeyman masks. That is Trick or Treat Studios alternate 1978 Michael Myers mask. And then we do not have the straight 2018s, but we do have what they call the Final Battle, or what we like to call the Bloody Edition of the 2018 mask. We've got a few of these in stock right now, a few of these left. We're going to be getting some more 2018s in our next shipment here soon, and we'll also be getting the new Halloween Kills here soon. but your collection is certainly not complete without the Bloody Edition. Myers, also known as the Final Battle, sometimes it's listed that way. This, of course, from after the final climax of that film when he's down in the basement, the house is on fire. This is kind of the last shot you see before we're going to see whatever we're going to see in the next film, in Kills. So, those three Myers masks, those are our three full head mask Myers masks that we currently have in stock. And we don't have a ton of any of them. We're selling a few each week, which is part of why I continue to do this each week, is because we're not going to have them for me to show off here eventually. The 78, of course, is a big seller. That, as I said, it will sell out every year. It sells out, just like the 2018, and just like I expect the Halloween Kills most likely. So, like I said, I've got a few news items I'm going to talk about. Not too much as far as the film, film news, but some alumni news, and I'm going to share some of the Michael Myers Monday tweets and posts that jumped out this week, and we'll talk just a little bit. I hope you guys all had a chance to check out part 2 of my Dick Warlock interview. That was dropped online this past Wednesday, last week. And I don't have a clip from that. I don't have my next franchise interview in the can quite yet, and it's not locked in quite yet. If you've been watching and pay attention, of course, my next interview that we're gonna put online here on the channel will be with Terrifier writer-director Damien Leone. And part 1 of that interview is coming up this Wednesday. I don't have a clip from that for you guys tonight. It's not a Myers interview, so but that's an awesome interview. I'm very proud of that, and it was just a blast talking to Damien, and I think you're going to love that. But as far as the Dick Warlock interview with part 2, that premiered this past Wednesday, so now the full interview is online. I hope you've had a chance to check it out. If not, be sure to take some time and do that when you can. Dick had some amazing stories about Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and just his entire career. He also gave his thoughts on why the Myers, the legacy of Michael Myers, and why this franchise has been so unkillable and still is so popular today, more popular than ever even. And he gave some great thoughts on that. And he, of course, also said that, yes, he has seen Halloween 2018, and Dick Warlock approves of James Jude Courtney's performance. He thought James did a good job. He says that in the interview. So I thought that was really cool that, number one, that he saw the film, and also that he gave James his stamp of approval. So, I mean, James has got Nick Castle's stamp of approval, and he's kind of literally passed the torch, passed the mask, so to speak. And now Halloween 2's Dick Warlock as well, so I think that's pretty awesome. And if you remember, Tyler Mane very publicly welcomed James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle back to the role, and in James' case to the role back when they were first announced in 2018. He did that on social media. Let's see, looking on some of y'all's comments here before I get into my first little news bit. I see Liam and friends and families. Hello, welcome. There's Sammy. Good evening, sir. Thank you for being here. What's up, Byron? Thank you for being here. Aesthetics celebrating spring break. I hear ya. There's David Suber. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good to see all you guys. Loved the Warlock interview. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Like I said, that was a lot of fun. Mostly because, as you see, Dick is just such a funny, and interesting guy. I mean, he's literally lived a life of danger, and yet when you're like, what's the most dangerous thing you ever experienced? He's got a few stories, but they just kind of roll off. Oh yeah, there's that time that the robot shark knocked my respirator out of my mouth while I was in the cage filming Jaws with Spielberg. But it wasn't that bad. We got through it. And there was the time I was hanging upside down in a Disney movie on an airplane without a parachute. But, and he just rolls them all off like that. So I just loved it. Loved hearing those stories. A lot of them he's told me before. A lot of them we even covered in my 2015 interview with him. But it was great to go over that again. And then we did touch on a lot of things that we didn't get to in that first interview. So there's Alan Postscript, my friend here, author and musician extraordinaire. You guys check out his horror books, Alan Postscript. And he's also a musician, composer, filmmaker, you name it, he does it all. Yeah, and I saw somebody, I think it's that aesthetic. Somebody mentioned the rumor last week about the Halloween Kills trailer. Yeah, we didn't talk about that last week because, as you saw, there was nothing really to talk about. A lot of mumbo jumbo about nothing. I knew the trailer wasn't going to come last Friday, and so I'm not going to spend much time even talking about it tonight. But I have seen some things online, a lot of excitement, and including some fakery being spread on here, and then also just a lot of rumors. I think a lot of it is wishful thinking and hopefulness and just excitement. But yeah, that trailer, of course, didn't happen last week. But very good chance we're probably going to get that teaser poster or something this month, I think. Probably in about 10 days, if I had to guess. Anyway, I'll hypothesize more on that in just a minute. Right now, though, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about just a few little news items. Again, this is just, fans of the cast and alumni of this great franchise. We all are. And now it's pretty interesting because conventions are starting, it appears, to come back to life in some form here. As more people get vaccinated and as more businesses and venues are learning, I think, just how they can operate and hold their events and do it in a safe way where everybody's masked up and everybody's still socially distanced as much as possible and following all the latest protocols. Aha, I see Mitchell is back in the house. April 15th. I think so, man. That's what I'm looking at. Thank you for being here again, Mitchell. So, right here, right off the bat, our friends at Scares That Care Weekend. Now, the first thing you'll notice is the dates on this are actually wrong. That still says 2020, but it was announced just this past week, just a few days ago, actually, that PJ Souls is still confirmed for Scares That Care Charity Weekend 2021. And, of course, PJ played Linda in Carpenter's original 1978 Halloween. And she, of course, had a voice cameo in Halloween 2018 as Allison's high school teacher. And, that's just her Halloween ties. But PJ is just awesome. One of our friends. We love her. And she's going to be appearing at Scares That Care Weekend in Williamsburg, Virginia. It is happening this year, July 30th, 31st, and August 1st. So the weekend of July 30th through Sunday, August 1st, that's where it's happening. It is a charity event. They do great stuff for charity, for cancer patients, burn victims. They help sick kids. It's a great organization. We went a few years ago. I attended our first Scares That Care. Absolutely loved it. And it's they've got a great lineup this year. But so PJ is going to be there. We're planning to be there if all goes well. And so it'll be great to see her again. And for us, it'll be, just great to get back out at a convention, a horror convention, any convention. And hopefully by late July, even more people will be vaccinated. COVID numbers will be even lower. we hope. And but that's our plan right now. We're planning to be there and cover that event, and that will most likely be the first convention coverage that we as HDN do in 2021. Will most likely be Scares the Care. They also do a big costume contest, at least traditionally they do on the Saturday night of the convention. Um, Good times there. Mitchell stepping it up with the super chat again. A Hey You sticker. Thank you, Mitchell. I wish I could hand you some love, but what I'll do is virtually I'm gonna stop and have a drink, and we're all gonna toast Mitchell for the super chat love. Thanks for being here, man. Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Byron's predicting April 23rd for the Halloween Kills poster. Very well could be. Very well could be. Aesthetic just really wants the movie. Doesn't care about the poster. Yeah, I hear you, man. I totally hear you. Moving along, you might have heard about this. Another one of our favorite friends of the franchise, alumni, appeared in 4 different Halloween films, playing 2 different characters. You might have heard that Danielle Harris is going to reprise her role from the original old Roseanne show, and she's going to reprise the role of Molly in the new version of the rebranded Roseanne show, which is now, of course, The Conners on ABC. That is happening this Wednesday night. I believe the episode airs at 9, and I think I saw that it is a hour-long episode. But yeah, Molly Tilden is her character's name. If you remember, she appeared in a number of episodes in the original Roseanne. She was the neighbor character, the neighbor of Roseanne's family, and she and Darlene had they were always having friction, and there was kind of a love triangle with Darlene's boyfriend David at the time, and so that should be pretty interesting to see her. I'm not a regular viewer of the Conners, although I did watch their Halloween episode last fall because they were one of the few episodes in Pandemic 2020 that did a Halloween episode, and so I did watch that, and it was cool. And they incorporated the pandemic and everything with it, which I thought was pretty cool. I was never a big Roseanne fan, in all honesty, back in the day. Not that I had anything against it, it wasn't appointment viewing for me in its original run, if I'm going to be completely honest. But I know they are very well known and beloved for their Halloween episodes, so much respect for that, if nothing else, and also for looking out for Danielle and giving her an awesome role post Jamie Lloyd. Mitchell, again, you're gonna if I pause and drink too much, you're gonna get me drunk before I'm even done doing the news, Mitchell. But hey, I'll take it, man. Thank you again for the super chat, $9.99. Unbelievable, man. Thank you so much. Again, you guys. The super chat is enabled. Any donations to the super chat does go directly to Halloween Daily News and helps this channel stay in operation, helps us to continue doing what we do here on YouTube and on the main website, HalloweenDailyNews.com. I don't have to explain it all to you guys, but you guys know that it does cost money to do these things, to have software, for equipment, and on the website, we have servers that we have to pay for, and just all kinds of hosting fees and so forth. So the super is so appreciated to all you, from all of us to you guys. So thank you, Mitchell. And again, everybody, pause for just a second. Toast Mitchell. Mitchell who has kindly donated another $10 to Super Chat. Thank you so much. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'll say it again. Yeah, David loves Danielle. We all do. Yeah, it's great to see her. I mean, I love, she, ever since the Rob Zombie '07 film, it really did reintroduce her in a big way. And she said this in interviews to the horror community And a lot of us, had never forgotten her. She'd never gone away, but it really opened up a lot of doors, and she has, really embraced that in recent years. But I love that because I was wondering when they brought the original Roseanne back a few years ago, I wonder if they'll bring Danielle's character back in there. I was thinking that to myself, and I think I probably said it out loud to my wife. So it's pretty awesome that they are now. Let's see. Aesthetic. Can you show us your baby picture, please? I don't have a baby picture handy around here right now. I could look for one maybe for another week, but I don't have a baby picture too handy right now. Sorry. Tommy Quinns thinks we'll get the Kills trailer end of May. I would say at the earliest end of May. Probably more likely early to mid-June, in my opinion. But end of May, like around Memorial Day even, very possible. I would say at the earliest, though, it'd probably be end of May. And again, that's just my best guesstimate at this moment. Mitchell saying new Blumhouse news soon. I guess you're referring to maybe a teaser poster or new image coming. That's what I'm thinking. I do think we're going to have news about Halloween Ends beginning principal photography soon. Probably not as soon as this month, but very soon. I think we're going to be hearing stuff about that. K&L Collectibles. Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to the live broadcast and the live chat. Melissa Todd says, yuck, Rob Zombie Halloween. Yeah, the Rob Zombie Halloweens, I understand that they are not for everybody, very divided. No franchise fans are more passionate than Halloween. I would say some might be equal to, but none more. And certainly everybody's got their opinions of the Rob Zombie films. I love them personally, but I understand that they are a different animal altogether from the shape of 78 and the shape that we know in those original films and the current version of the 2018. Melissa says, I hope they don't bring Danielle back. No, I don't think they would bring her back at this point. Certainly not in this continuity. I mean, she's made it pretty clear that she reached out to them and tried to be involved with the 2018 film in some way, and that didn't work out. I think the only way she would be brought back at this stage would be if down the road in 5 years or something, if they got the crazy idea, let's pick up with Jamie Lloyd and disregard Halloween 5 and 6 and just pick up all these years later after a Halloween 4. And you could kind of almost reboot the whole thing in that way and do another requel like they're doing now with 2018. It'd be a whole Jamie Lloyd requel where she's, the age that she is now, 40 years almost after 88. I could see that possibly happening one day. Probably not, though. I mean, again, if you're going to ask me my opinion at this moment, I don't think they're going to go that way. But then again, as I've said many times on many of these lives, the Halloween franchise is unique. They make their own rules and then they break them and they're going to do whatever they want to do. And more than any other franchise, I would say. So, yeah, what they're going to do in the future, that's very possible. I see some Team Danielle, some Sammy Smith saying she was great in Halloween 4 and 5. some people getting on Melissa, how dare you? Phil likes the first Rob Zombie Halloween, not the second. Yep. Byron says RZ's H1 is okay. H2, don't get me started. Yeah. 78's K&L's favorite. 2018 was a great revival of the franchise. Excited for Kills. Like all of us here. Oh, yeah. We're all so excited. Ken wants to see Tyler Mane somewhere in Kills. How epic would that be? Even just a cameo appearance. Before we get too into talking about kills and speculation and all that. I know we're going to talk about that. Just a couple more small items. This is not even, I don't even know what this is going to be, but I did see it today. Gutter Garbs. They are celebrating halfway to Halloween month. Because, of course, April is halfway to Halloween. We're halfway to October. And not that that matters at Halloween Daily News, because every day is Halloween. But, yeah, they're bringing back some of their classic designs, but at least one new one. And I don't know if that picture is a clue that it's going to be an H3, a new H3 design, or an H78 design, or what it's going to be. I know they've been doing a lot of Halloween 3 and 2 merch here this year. So I feel like it's probably going to be something related to Halloween 3, very possibly. But that's coming. That's coming tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow, April 6th. And let me pause again before I get distracted again. Mitchell has done another super chat. $1.99 saying, hey, you. Hey, you, Mitchell. You, sir. You are awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you, Mitchell. So, yeah, tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Gutter Garbs is going to unveil a new design that they're going to have up for a limited time. Also, just one thing I wanted to hit on. I want to wish a happy birthday to Halloween 5's Billy, the great Jeffrey Landman. And I'm going to put my interview, a link to my interview with Jeffrey in the description down below. I didn't before we started, and I meant to, but I interviewed Jeffrey actually way back in 2014, and we talked all about Halloween 5 and working on that film at such a young age, working with Danielle and all of that. And Jeffrey's an awesome dude, and I was curious about the stuttering, because I mean, if he's acting, that's that's pretty challenging to have to. And yeah, that was all in the script. That was literally in writing on the page. The Jamie and all of that, and as well as Danielle's character, Jamie having to learn sign language, all of that, which they actually did all that as kids. She learned the sign language that she needed. He was able to act well enough to do the stuttering. I mean, pretty amazing stuff. I bring all this up because one of the most interesting tidbits, a lot of people wonder what happened to Billy. Did he live or did he die in that film? And Jeffrey tells me that the way he always understood it is that Billy did, in fact, survive his encounter with Michael Myers. And in fact, there was supposed to be a scene after the fact. And so this is a bit of that interview. I'll just read you. Again, this is Jeffrey Landman talking to me in 2014. He says, quote, Billy was supposed to be shown alive after the car crash, meaning in another scene he was going to say that I was still alive than it turned out to be. I think we might have been disconnected there for a minute. I apologize about that. Sorry, I'm missing some of these comments, but I was just reading a bit of Jeffrey Landman's interview. I don't know if you heard all that, but basically Billy lived. There was an extra scene shot after he is supposedly kind of run over by the car. As in the current edit, you're not sure what happened. You think he's killed, and but they did film another scene where he was supposed to be very injured. They told him 2 broken arms, 2 broken legs, but he was still walking. And he says that that was just to help him as a kid understand that you got to be really hurt in this scene. So I thought that was pretty awesome, and that's pretty much the official word. He tells me again, quote, the question I always get the most is, did Billy survive? Because once I get taken away in the ambulance, there's the thing when Jamie shouts out my name and all the cops come to save me, but you never see me again. And yeah, so it was another mistake in the filming, actually, of Halloween 5, according to him. He says the last scene that they shot of his stuff was a shot of the clinic at the end, and they had already sent him home at that point, because he was supposed to be in that shot in the clinic, according to him. So again, very interesting tidbit there for you Halloween 5 fans. And while we're on Jen, I figured I'd throw this on here. I'm sure he's probably not watching tonight, but I'm going to try to pull up. There we are. That's me and Jeffrey in 2018 in South Pasadena at the H2o 40 Years of Terror event. So yeah, Jeffrey Layman survived. Billy survived Halloween 5. Sorry about the connection issues, guys. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully that's we're not gonna have to deal with that again. Okay, that's my news stuff. Oh yeah, and one more thing, I did promise an exclusive tonight. Let me bring me back on here. Yes, our friends at Haunted Screams Expo. It is happening this fall. Another event that we are planning to be a part of as of right now. It's happening September 18th and 19th, 2021 in Hampton, Virginia. We talked a few weeks ago. We made the exclusive announcement on Michael Myers Monday that Tyler Main is one of the guests for the 2021 Haunted Screams Expo horror convention. Speaking of Terrifier, David Howard Thornton was the second guest announced, by the way. Well, tonight, this has not been announced officially, publicly, anywhere else, but I got the okay from the promoter to go ahead and give you guys the first word of the next guest that's going to be announced tomorrow for Haunted Screams Expo, because it is Tyler Main's co-star from both Rob Zombie films. You probably guessed it. Scout Taylor Compton will be a guest at Haunted Screams Expo, September 18th and 19th, 2021 in Hampton, Virginia. This is a convention center show as opposed to a hotel show, but there are plenty of hotels in the area, including connected to the convention center. This will be the second year that Haunted Screams has been in operation. Their first convention was in 2019, and Tyler was a guest there, and we were there, and it was awesome. And if you search this channel, you can see a lot of different videos from that event, including the costume contest, makeup contests, and some of our panel coverage, as well as just a general walkthrough of the haunted house they had there. And just a convention floor walkthrough as well. So there you go, exclusive right here for the Michael Myers Monday crowd. Scout Taylor Compton joining this guy at Haunted Screams Expo 2021. And if you're heading out to that one, let me know. Let us know, because like I said, we will be there as well. We are planning to be in attendance on that one, at that one, and at Scares That Care. And very much looking forward to getting back out there in the convention scene. Hopefully, it's all going to work out, and there won't be a change of plans from here to then. But that's what we're hoping. Mitchell's saying, how about a live chat with Jason Blum when we get closer to Halloween? I would love to. Are you kidding? I would absolutely love to. And I all I can say is I'm working, guys. I am definitely working on setting up more interviews. There is going to be more. There's a few I can tell you will be a few that I can tell you will definitely not happen until closer to Halloween Kills. Let's put it that way. I've said before that there's a few people that are involved with Halloween Kills that I've already set up the interview, but it is not scheduled dated because we all agree, for obvious reasons, that we'd rather wait until a little bit closer to the release date of that film so that we can all talk a little more freely at that time about that one. Now, I'm still talking to other people from this franchise that I also plan to bring on here on the channel as part of our new video interview series that you've been seeing. Like I said, Damien Leone's next, and I got other people outside of the Halloween franchise I'm also talking to, but yeah, you can bet there's plenty more with this franchise to come. And if I could get Jason Blum on here doing a live or even a pre-recorded, yeah, in a heartbeat, guys. Are you kidding? That'd be so awesome. I'd love to. Just seeing where everybody's at. Yeah, it looks like some of you guys are out here on the East Coast. I know David Suber is. Yeah, the H2o Con. Yeah, we that was our first time on the West Coast, and won't be the last. Definitely won't be the last. All right. So that is our scoop right there. Right now, I'm going to run through just a couple tweets and IG posts that some of our friends out there, maybe some of you guys watching, know these people. Here we go. First up, I don't know if any of you guys watched the new Godzilla versus Kong over the weekend, but this is pretty inventive. I saw a few people share this today, and I'm not sure if Kevin 11 made this or found it, but he was the first one I saw to share it. One will fall, hashtag Michael Myers Monday. This comes to us from Beth and Kevin NY84 on Twitter, also known as Kevin 11 on Twitter. And that is, of course, replacing Kong with James Jude Courtney's version of Michael Myers from Halloween 2018. I thought that was pretty cool. I think we know who'd win in Michael versus Godzilla, right? Come on. Up next, we also have, also from Twitter, this one I thought was interesting. This comes from username at the Shape 1957 fan. He says, here is the screen used H2O mask, and damn is it nice. Credit to michaelmyers.net, hashtag Michael Myers Monday. So I'm assuming he got this image from michaelmyers.net. Again, I can't personally vouch for the authenticity that it is definitely the screen used, but it certainly appears to be one of them anyway. And so I thought that was pretty rad. Also, lots of Michael Myers Monday hashtag usage over on Instagram, like always. Our first one today from Instagram. This is at Chicago Boogeyman, showing off his shorts. He's got the hat. He's got the t-shirt. And he's got some posters. He's got a mask. He's got all kinds of figures. Yeah, he's got the whole Michael Myers. I see even down in the corner. He's got the Judith tombstone, the life-size tombstone. It looks like he's got the greeter from Spirit Halloween. Yeah, he's got the bus. Chicago Boogeyman doing it up, doing it in style for Michael Myers Monday. He says, happy Michael Myers Monday, proudly representing the greatest horror film of all time on this beautiful 70-degree day here in Chicago. And that is a, hey, speaking of gutter garbs, that is a gutter garbs t-shirt. And the shorts, I guess, come from Chalkline Official. Not familiar with them. Keeping the Triple M posts going. Again, you guys use the hashtag, and I will find these posts. Here we go. Also from Instagram, This is OA Spooky Ghost. And she says, a killer community. Hashtag Michael Myers, hashtag horror, and hashtag Michael Myers Monday. And it's backwards because of the mirror, but you can see that she is wearing the Welcome to Haddonfield t-shirt. I thought that might be a Myers mask tattoo for a second, but it's a skull. She's got the Jason on her phone. So, thanks for that, Spooky Ghost. And last but not least, for today anyway, on Michael Myers Monday, also coming to us from Instagram, this post is at the Classically Deceased. He, another one that takes advantage of this hashtag every week, always posting awesome content. He's always sure to use the hashtag, always tags us. Always some really fun, interesting, often hilarious GIFs and videos and memes and photos like this one where he says Easter may be over, but pranks never end. Ever tried giving your kids Peeps cereal with real Peeps inside? Pretty awesome. And you can see Michael there with his Chucky children. One of which is blindfolded because I guess they're going to feed him some real Peeps. The Classically Deceased. Yeah, follow him on Instagram. He's always putting up awesome Michael Myers content. Got his own version of the Bloody Mask right there. So there we go, guys. That's this week's posts and tweets using the hashtag Michael Myers Monday. Use it every Monday. Like I said, we want to build, try to get it trending, right? I mean, this is our year. This is Halloween Kills. By September, by October, we need to get this hashtag trending. So be sure to use the hashtag every Monday. And feel free to tag me, tag Halloween Daily News if you're on Twitter or Instagram. That way I'll definitely see it. Or if you see somebody else posting something really awesome, then again, steer them our way so that we can share with other people like yourselves and we can all enjoy it. Sorry, guys, I forgot I wasn't on camera right there. So, like I said, use the hashtag Michael Myers Monday. Tag us, Instagram, Twitter, everything I just said. All right, let's toast Mitchell again. Another $1.99. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Another super chat. Awesome. Pause the show. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Thank you, Mitchell. Uh-oh, Mitchell's going to be gone for 3 weeks. Keep up the wonderful work back in May. Are you leaving for work or taking a fun vacation or where are you heading? We're going to miss you. Let's see. Did I miss any other questions? I know somebody was asking about the Spiral trailer. We mentioned that last week. I know it's off topic. Yeah, I saw it. I mean, it didn't really change my excitement level from the first trailer we got last year, the teaser. Again, I'm gonna watch it. I look forward to it. I'm just looking forward to new horror getting out. I'm really looking forward to the new Conjuring movie later this year. I think that's gonna be great. I enjoyed Kong versus Godzilla for what it is. I liked it better than King of the Monsters, actually. But you know, I mean, you know, again, it's probably not going to be my favorite movie of the year. I think you probably got a front runner on that before it even gets here. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. Mitchell saying Universal will start June 15th. Start the hype. Okay. I think June 15th is good. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying April 15th because mainly in 2018, that's when the marketing officially kicked off. Exactly 6 months to the day before the 2018 film. It was April 19th. I know you all remember Jamie Lee Curtis shared that first teaser poster from the 2018 film. It gave us our first look at the new mask, the aged mask, and that really just kickstarted everything. At that point, Trick or Treat Studios was able to start taking pre-orders for their masks, which I expect will be a similar case this year. At that point, very soon, magazine stills started coming out with new images, either from the movie itself or from the promotional photo shoots that I talked about before. James told me in our first interview that they did while they were still filming with Dan Winters. And that's where those photos came from. Also, the one that they used later on with Michael and Jamie Lee Curtis. So again, I said this even before pre-COVID last year. When everything was scheduled to happen in 2020, I was speculating that it's going to be a very similar rollout from Universal's point of view as far as their marketing team. It worked in 2018. I thought their rollout was very successful. I'm sure they feel the same. And so, I still think this month, if I had to pick a day, I'd say April 15th. So, let's see. That's what is that? I think that's like a Thursday. It's not a Monday. I know that. I think it's next Thursday, I believe. You guys tell me though. I'd love to hear you. Am I gonna, should I do a live the day that the poster comes out? Obviously, we'd talk about it the following Monday would be the plan, the idea. I'd probably do that either way, I would imagine. But I don't know. Maybe when it comes out, maybe it's so awesome I just got to talk to you guys about it. But you guys let me know if you'd be up for like a surprise. Hey, we got the poster. Let's talk about this tonight. And in that case, it'd probably be earlier, maybe than 10:31. We'll see. But you let me know. Okay, Aesthetic is saying scroll up because I missed. Okay, I don't know which one I missed, Aesthetic. I see Kong has changed a lot. His nose used to be pushed up like a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Aesthetic, ask your question again now, and I will do my best to answer because I don't think I can find it just from scrolling up at the moment. I apologize for that. But it's getting a little crazy on here. Byron wants me to tell Summit about his newest Halloween film pitch. The Byron's got some pitches I know he sent to me. From what I have read and from what I remember, Byron, and you can tell them more details. But the new pitch would be kind of Allison is the new Michael, more or less. After Halloween ends, assuming she survives, assuming the evil kind of passes on to her, I think is what Byron has said. So that's certainly one way to go. I wouldn't commit to that. It's certainly, it'd be kind of what I'm saying about the Jamie Lloyd if they were ever to go back to that. What if they picked up on that years later and made her kind of, like she was locked up after the end of Halloween 4 until now, and then she busts out something like that. Sean Clark had mentioned something like that on his new episode, which is something else I was gonna bring up to you guys. I don't know if you saw my boys on The Thing with Two Heads, their new episode this week. They've got Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton, who many of you longtime fans know. They were in development on Halloween Returns for many years, and they go into they're pretty candid about about the lack of progress on the new Collector movie that they're working on, but also on what happened with Halloween Returns, most of which we know and we've heard them say over the years, but they were even more forthright with that. Aesthetic says, yeah, Matt, you skipped that question too, but you were fine. It's kind of hard to read all of these. Yes, it is hard to read all of these. I see Mitchell though. I see the super chat. Mitchell has hit it again. Hey you. Well, hey you, Mitchell. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Toast Mitchell. He is our biggest super chatter. He's super chat champion of the night, guys. Come on, rest of you guys. Thank you, Mitchell. Thank you so much. The Fate of Allison is a Psycho 2 type of film, Byron says. Psycho 2. Um, so you think of Norman Bates. I guess Allison would kind of be the Norman Bates of that story. And there you can see Byron's giving you some more details about his pitch. Yeah, Big Mitch coming through once again. Yes, he is. Ken says Tim Burton does Halloween. Halloween 3. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd pay to see that. Tim Burton do a Halloween movie. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Damien Leone, do his version of a Halloween movie. Which, by the way, I don't want to spoil the interview, but and it's not so much this franchise, but I did ask if he'd ever want to do another franchise or would consider that, and he's definitely got some thoughts about a specific um, icon that he didn't create that you're going to want to hear about. But um, we'll talk more about that at another time. Yeah, Byron. See, you guys read Byron's pitch there and let him know what you think. If that should be pushed along to Malik after they get done with ends. This would assume, I guess it would assume, I assume it would assume that Allison survives the end of Halloween Ends, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Yeah, she would be the new shape. She would be the shape. Similar to what they kind of we thought they might be setting up with the end of Halloween 4. Is Jamie going to be the new Myers, the shape? And it appeared that way, of course, with Loomis's iconic no. Yeah, it was great. So, I mean, if they wrap these movies up in some way like that, maybe it's possible. It's certainly possible. Yeah, YouTube won't let you post the whole pitch because it's too long. Yeah, well, that was pretty. That was pretty close. That was pretty. I think you got a lot of it in there. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of. Basically, Allison becomes a brutal killer. So I don't know. I mean, could you guys see Allison doing that? I mean, as I've said, I'm not going to weigh in too heavily on what would happen after Halloween ends at this point. We know they're going to make more movies at some point. Whether or not it'll continue this storyline or whether or not I would really want it to, I don't know. It depends on what happens in these next two movies. Byron, what's the director of Freaky? Who I think is also the director of the Happy Death Day films. I think his name's Christopher Landon, if I'm not mistaken. Wants him to direct this Allison centric film. That would definitely be interesting. Mitchell thinks by 2023 it'll be an all new franchise. That'll be the 45th anniversary of the original. So, um, anything. There we go again. Mitchell stepping it up. Awesome, man. Thank you. Hey, you. It's a Hey You sticker, everybody. And another one. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you, Mitchell. Byron says, or Adam Wingard, who just directed the Godzilla vs. Kong. Which I'm a big fan of Adam Wingard. I loved You're Next, and my favorite film of his though is actually The Guest. If you have not seen The Guest, check it out and tell me what you think. If you have seen it, tell me what you think. I love The Guest. I love it, and Adam Wingard has said many times that that is kind of his Halloween, that is kind of his best ode to Carpenter in a way is with that film, and I feel it there. And of course, as it applies to this franchise, it does have one of the all too rare Halloween 3 Easter eggs, speaking of Easter, in The Guest. Many of you guys know what I'm talking about, but yeah, the Silver Shamrock masks, all three of them, are referenced in The Guest because the whole movie takes place during Halloween time, and it's not an accident. It is absolutely a Silver Shamrock Halloween 3 Season of the Witch reference, Easter egg, if you will. Yes, Byron. Yes, that's why you thought of him was The Guest. Yes. Based on The Guest, I would love to see Adam Wingard's take on Halloween. I think he wanted 2018. I do remember he was very on social media, very not shy about wanting to be in the mix as director, and I can tell you that he was, in some point of consideration. I don't know how far along the line his name made it, but I know at a certain point he was among the guys, because there was a lot of guys before they settled on David Gordon Green that were kind of in consideration, and I don't know how many of them actually met with Malick or with Jason Blum. Um, I don't know. I don't know how far it got with any of them. Um, the other guy, Mike, I'm forgetting his name, the director of Doctor Sleep, Mike Flanagan, he was also one that a lot of people, a lot of fans, and a lot of people were kind of looking at, and I think he did meet with them and kind of, if I remember right, more or less turned it down because he felt like he had already done his best version of Halloween with the movie Hush. Interesting. Ken wants to hear Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads. Yeah, now we're going to start talking. You're going to remind me of Leslie Vernon and the great Behind the Mask with Leslie Vernon, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, which is another film I hope you've all seen by now. If you haven't, absolutely check that one out. Absolutely one of the greatest slashers. Just one of my favorite horror films ever made. Just one of my favorite films ever made is Leslie Vernon. It's way up there. Um, and that ever since I've seen that film, the Psycho Killer always makes me think of Leslie Vernon. Byron saying, if it was Jason Blum, which one would be more appealing? The Generations, which is a Allison based but more of an anthology, or The Fate of Allison, which is more Allison is Norman Bates trying not to be a killer but turns out to be a brutal killer. Which one? If I was Jason Blum, oh man, yeah, I mean, probably turning her into a killer. I think there'd be ways that you could do. I mean, I hate to even go there, but I mean, there are ways if you were to get inventive to do almost like a female Myers, and reinvent it in a way that could be really exciting and really good and almost even really timely. I'm not going to venture as to exactly how to uh, how I would make that work exactly. But Byron's got some great ideas. So if I was Jason Blum and it was between those pitches, maybe go with that one. Just because the anthology, they did try to go the anthology route with Season of the Witch, and I still think that stung producers in a place that they don't want to get stung before. Not that it hasn't, come into its own in recent years. Mitchell says, great work. See you in June, brother. All right, man. Well, if you're heading out, hopefully you're not gone for the night. But if you are, thank you again, Mitchell. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a safe journey. Have a safe couple of weeks. And yeah, if it's June before we see you, then we will see you in June. We'll be here. We'll have lots more to talk about by then, I'm sure. Ken singing the Psycho Killer. Summit's asking if I've seen Summer of '84. That one is ringing a bell, but I don't think I've seen it. That's fairly recent, I think. I don't think I've seen Summer of '84. I need to check that out. Pumpkin intro, yeah. Bloody Pumpkin, yeah. Bloody Pumpkin intro would be good. Yeah, we need some kind of pumpkin intro for kills and for ends. I'm very curious of what they're gonna do because I thought it was just so genius and so perfect. The pumpkin, how they had the pumpkin, the decomposed pumpkin, basically the one from '78, kind of recompose itself over the opening credits of 2018. I loved that. I read the articles about how they pulled it off with the photography by shooting a pumpkin out of season. I think they shot it. It wasn't just every day. It was like every hour for however long it took for it to decompose like that. Alan says, bunch of kids on bikes. Good movie. About Summer of '84. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Bloody Heart with Eyes. That's a good one, Ken. Yes. Now that would be very. That would make sense. And those heart eyes and the heart jack o' lantern, I think, is become somewhat iconic in itself from the 2018 film. Of course, it was an accessory with the Ultimate Myers figure from 2018, so I think that's pretty awesome. Matt, we should feel Andy about those two pitches. I guess you're saying how would Andy feel about those two pitches? How do I think she would feel? I don't know. I just know what you guys know. Uh, she did tell Sean and Christopher on their podcast, The Thing with Two Heads, that she would like to kind of have the James Jude Courtney role one day in a film. So she certainly wouldn't be opposed to playing the killer, I think, is what it sounds like. And the kids with bikes doesn't feel like a Stranger Things ripoff in spite of that. Awesome. Awesome. Byron says we should tell Andy about those bitches. Well, if we can get them in front of her eyes. I don't. She's not on my in my cell phone yet. I wish she was. I wish I could text her your post and get her thoughts on it and get an exclusive quote. Maybe eventually. But she's not one of the awesome members of this franchise that I have their cell number right now. I do have a couple. I do have some direct contact with a few, you know, but I'm not quite there yet with her yet. Who knows what'll happen down the road? But Better watch out. I think I just saw that one this past Christmas for the first time. That's the one where uh, the kid turns out to be the bad guy, right? And better watch out. Isn't that spoiler alert? Summit, I think. But if so, yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really liked that, and I didn't know ahead of time where it was going to go. I didn't like. I think I had just heard that it was one I should watch, and I kind of went in kind of blind, and yeah, I enjoyed that. If that's the better watch out you're talking about. Sammy Smith says they should bring back a few of the old characters from 78 to Halloween Kills when it comes out. Yes, Aesthetic has pointed out that yes, they are bringing back quite a few of the 78 characters. We've got uh, the original Lindsay Wallace, Kyle Richards, of course, is confirmed in the movie, reprising her role as Lindsay Wallace. We've got Nancy Stevens, who was the nurse Marion in Halloween and Halloween 2 and also H2O. She's confirmed, definitely back as Marion in Halloween Kills. We've got Charles Cyphers, the great Charles Cyphers, playing once again Sheriff Brackett. Um, I assume he's probably not still sheriff, but he's going to be back as Brackett, Lee Brackett. And of course, Anthony Michael Hall is taking over the role of Tommy Doyle, originally played by our friend Brian Andrews in the original Halloween, and later played by Paul Rudd in The Curse of Michael Myers. So yeah, they are bringing back quite a few of those legacy characters, I call them, from '78. Ryan Korn, what's up, man? Makes me want to pump up some corn. Are you ready? Love some love some old school corn. I must have saw them in concert probably 8 or 10 times over the years. Yeah, Ken wants Billy Idol's Eyes Without a Face to be on the TV when Kills first comes on. Like the old Billy Idol video for Eyes Without a Face. Hey, we talked about that. I think that was last week. I love your idea of Eyes Without a Face. I mean, as a huge Billy Idol fan, uh, yeah, that song and knowing that Carpenter was inspired partly by the film Eyes Without a Face in creating Michael, yeah, I think that would be so fitting and perfect. Different, but yeah, for those of us that know, I think it would be so perfect. Okay, yeah, better watch out. Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry if I spoiled that, but yeah, better watch out. I did like that one. Yes, and I will check out Summer of '84. Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't remember what happened. Maybe it just hasn't been on. I haven't come across it on any of the streaming services I have right now. I don't know honestly why I haven't seen it yet, but I need to check that out. Yeah, I wish there was a Michael emoji too. There was well, they had a special emoji for hashtag Michael Myers in 2018 for a little while there. Twitter did anyway. Jacob Lattimore, welcome. A new face here. Welcome. If you're new here, if not, then thanks for being here. Either way, thanks for being here. But Jacob, what do I think of Scream 5 coming out next year? Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Um, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I don't have a huge feeling about it one way or the other. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one, and I don't even know honestly if I've seen the second. So I don't know. I'll withhold judgment on that one. New Scream film, I'm there. I'm there. I love the Scream franchise. And I know it sucks that, obviously this is the first one without Wes Craven directing, but from everything I've heard and from Nev Campbell's comments, uh, when we were at her Q&A and at Mad Monster Party last year, and then right up to recently, everything that she has said is that these guys who are making the new Scream, the team, the Radio Silence team, uh, Scream is their Jaws. It's their Star Wars. It's their Halloween 78 to them. And that's how they're approaching this, with that kind of reverence and respect. So, again, I hate to always compare everything to the Halloween franchise, but everything can be compared to the Halloween franchise when you're me, when you're you guys, when we're here on Michael Myers Monday. I think it's going to be kind of a Halloween 2018 type deal where it's going to be a new requel. Obviously they're going to acknowledge the events of the past, but put a new spin on it and maybe a bit of a new voice, but very much a voice that is paying homage and trying to recapture that feeling of the original Scream. So again, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be first in line to get a ticket for it. I can't wait. And all I got to say is they better have a Myers reference in there, at least one line of dialogue, because pretty much all the movies, well, not pretty much, all the movies, I think it's part two is the only one where there's not a direct mention of Michael Myers, if I remember right. But even the TV series, they all reference Michael. In one of the episodes of one of the TV series, Scream series, one of the incarnations, the VH1 or the MTV, I get them all mixed up. They weren't that great, certainly not compared to the movies. But I love that they still referenced Halloween the way that the movies do. I mean, they reference all the films, but so lovingly, specifically Halloween. I mean, I could go on about that climactic scene at the end of the original Scream where Halloween 78 is on TV. I mean, I think that is the best use of a horror movie on TV, pretty much since Halloween 3. Used the same movie on TV. And Cochran says, Happy Halloween. He walks out of the room, and then the music from Carpenter's Halloween 78 that is playing on TV all of a sudden gets louder, and it becomes the music to the soundtrack of Halloween 3 that we're watching. It's this surreal, meta, mind-bending moment, and it's my favorite moment of Season of the Witch. Tom Atkins, he's wearing the skull mask. Cochran says the words, Happy Halloween. It's just epic. And then all those years later to see Scream do it, where again, the Carpenter soundtrack becomes the soundtrack to what's happening in Scream, in Stu's house during those moments, and seeing Randy, watching, oh, behind you, and then meanwhile there's Ghostface, right? I mean, just genius stuff, genius level stuff. I love all that. And again, sorry if I'm spoiling anything, but yeah, you should all have seen Scream, all of the Scream movies, 8 million times by now. Certainly that original. So to answer your question, very excited about a new Scream. I hope it holds its own with the others. Obviously, the first one's my favorite. I could spend another time ranking them, but I actually love the fourth one. I really liked it. I like the new characters they introduced. It was kind of a requel in itself, but definitely a sequel. But I enjoyed what they did, and I loved that those closing moments. Why won't you just die? Who do you think you are, Michael fucking Myers? I mean, it's brilliant. I love that. So that's just one reason I love the Scream films, but that's certainly part of it. So yes, excited for Scream 5 or Scream, whatever they're going to call it. I thought sure it'd be Scream, but with a 5 instead of the S, right? I mean, doesn't that make But I don't know. I haven't seen that anywhere. All right, guys. Just scrolling through some of y'all's comments. I cannot scroll all the way up to see everything I miss. Aesthetic's gonna start calling Michael Myers Audrey. Yeah. What do you think of Kane Hodder doing Jeepers Creepers? Is he doing Jeepers Creepers, or you're just speculating, Ken? I'm hoping that Kane, that video game that he's doing motion capture for, does in fact turn out to be a Halloween game from the makers of the Friday the 13th game. That's what I'm hoping for, but we'll see. All right, guys. Let's see. I see a new name on here, Justin Calderola. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome. Ryan's asking if I checked out the new thing with two heads. I should get Sean on the show. Yes, and yes, you are exactly right. I probably will get Sean on here at some point. I've interviewed him in the past. We're friends. I, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of their show. I watch it, and yes, today I did watch their new episode. Um, yeah, I mentioned it briefly earlier. Dunstan and Melton, all that with Halloween Returns. If you guys remember, I mean, that was some great tidbits that they were revealing on there. A lot of it I think they've said in other places, but yeah, the gist of the whole thing is that whole thing fell apart. And was kind of doomed from the beginning. I loved hearing them say that, yeah, whenever we start to feel bad, like, oh, Halloween, that could have been us, we remember that it was Bob Weinstein that they were working with at the time, and Dimension, and I love when Melton says, but Bob would have fucked it up eventually somehow anyway. And so I thought that was that's a great way to look at it from their point of view, and they're right. Yeah, he would not have been the way it is now, where it seems like Jason Blum just kind of and Malik they've kind of um, just given David Gordon Green a certain amount of creative freedom to do his thing and find his voice with this. So, but but yeah, it was their involvement, and then when Dimension got out and they say it came down to some paperwork, like the date somewhere misprinted on some paperwork, and that's what led to Dimension losing the rights and Miramax reclaiming it and so forth. And again, it all for us worked out ultimately because it means we get Halloween 2018. But some of their ideas for Halloween Returns, I'd still wouldn't mind seeing at a certain point. And then also, you know, they talk about that Bob Weinstein's no one thing that had to be in the movie that they just had to work in because he wanted a poster of Michael Myers in an electric chair. So that had to be worked in. So some of you guys have seen the animatics of the of the pitch, the opening scene, what might have been an opening scene leading to that. We've seen their scripts online. I've read portions of some of them. But the stuff where it was going to begin with Michael incarcerated, going to an electric chair, that was basically mandated from Harvey Weinstein's brother, Bob Weinstein, at the time. So, I mean, personally, I'm thrilled that nobody with that name and none of those guys, I mean, I don't think they helped the franchise at all during their time with it. It was also very interesting hearing Patrick and Marcus talk about being at the same studio and working with the same people behind the scenes as Rob Zombie was making his Halloween films, and specifically Halloween 2. And that they were actually, had conversations with Rob about certain things in that film. And also so much as they would be told things to relay to Rob about Halloween 2. So they had, some crazy inside knowledge on some of that. Yeah, so yes, Ryan, I very much enjoyed that interview, and I know. I mean, I had heard. You guys probably know this, but yeah, I mean, Halloween Returns. It was like they were entering casting. They were like weeks, not even months, but weeks from shooting, and and all that fell apart when it did. But we covered the hell out of that lead up, and so much so that when in 2015 when we went to Chicago Flashback Weekend, Alan Howarth came to us, came to Halloween Daily News because we had been covering Halloween Returns, and he basically through us was offering his services to compose Halloween Returns, and and Patrick and Marcus saw that thanks to Twitter, and so there was a good chance that was even going to happen, and that I could have said, well, I kind of played a middleman a little bit in there and helped bring but it was just such an exciting time then. But who knew that just 3 years later we'd be in a totally different place? Not even that much. It was just like 2 years later when what would become Halloween 2018 was first announced. So that was pretty amazing. Yeah. Did they ever reference if Michael sleeps? I've not seen Michael sleeping. Nope. Jacob says, do you know if they're making a new Friday the 13th? Not right now. That's all tied up in legalities at the moment. Um, but yeah, I don't see them making a new Friday the 13th anytime real soon. Aesthetic wants to know how Michael survived H2o. Well, if you're going with that timeline, then you'd have to go to Resurrection, in which it is explained that it was not, in fact, Michael Myers who was beheaded at the end of that movie. If you count Resurrection as canon. Which, if you're going to go with H2O, I mean, I always say there's so many different timelines, including like points after H4 and after H2O, where to me, you could choose your own adventure. Choose to stop here, end of movie, because I think the endings of Halloween 4, just like the ending of H2O, are perfect endings. Or you could choose to go on, and if you choose to go on, well, then those endings are explained in the following films. Someone's asking about the film Zodiac. Wow. David Fincher, about the Zodiac Killer. It's been a long time since I've watched it. I do own it. I should probably revisit it sometime. But I saw it in the theater, and I remember liking it. I remember really enjoying it. Not quite as much as I enjoy Seven, which is probably like the pinnacle of like, taking the bare bones of a slasher, the skeleton of a slasher film, and really just going ultra realistic with it. To me, I think Seven kind of probably is the pinnacle of that. And so then with Zodiac, you're dealing with an actual true story, and but it was really well done, and I need to revisit it probably, but I liked it. Byron says Alan Howard should come back and post another film, specifically Returns. Well, I mean, if Carpenter's not going to score it, then yeah, I think the next best thing to Carpenter is to get Alan Howarth, the man who worked with Carpenter. I mean, I guess somebody. I mean, you could technically, John could say, I don't want to do it. Let my son Cody do it, or let Cody and Daniel, my bandmates, and I'm going to sit this one out. I would probably be equally fine if it wasn't Howarth and it wasn't Carpenter, if it was those two at this point. Because I think, again, it's the being around Carpenter, it's the working, the knowing how his mind works, and just knowing his music frontwards and backwards is the key. And I think they could pull it off too. Yeah, Spiral drew inspiration from Seven, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, I go back to that very first Saw movie. I mean, that was pretty, it wasn't insanely far from something like Seven when that first one came out. It did get a little more outrageous and a little crazier as the sequels went on, of course, and as Jigsaw became, but I still remember that first one as a great mystery, number one. I mean, I don't think anybody saw that ending and that reveal of John Kramer having been in the room the whole time, so I think uh, so yeah, if the new Saw Spiral kind of goes back to a more seven-ish type feeling, I think that's not only smart, but it has precedent in this franchise in some ways. So I'd like to see that. Wow, Jacob asking the best Halloween movies you like. Well, like I said, I'm not going to rank them all, but obviously 78's number one. And yeah, I can go so far as to say that I think part two and three they're pretty much tied for second place for me because every year I watch Halloween 2 and I say to myself, this is so good, this is the best sequel. It's you know, but then I watch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch and I'm like, I mean, this is the best sequel because it's not even like part of this other thing. It's almost like its own thing. It's the only one, truly, that does not depend on you having seen the 78 at all to appreciate it. In fact, it might annoy you. The Myers listness of it all might certainly is not going to bother you as much if you're not even seen the first Myers film. So there's that too. I mean, how many sequels just of anything can you say completely stands on its own, having never seen the first one or any of the other ones? So it gets points uh, there, and I just love those two. I mean, they just feel they have that Carpenter feel, even though he didn't actually direct them. They still have that feel. The things about Halloween 4, and I think Sean said this about it, but I'll agree that the things about Halloween 4, maybe it was Patrick Melton in that interview that said this about it, but what we loved about Halloween 4, I think it was Melton, what we loved about Halloween 4 were the things about it that were so much like 78 and like those first three films. So and then the more they get away from that, it becomes its own thing to where, and again, I stick up for the Rob Zombie films only because, again, if you're going to do your own thing and you're going to go for it, just like with Halloween 6, I say if you're going to go for it and be different, do Rob Zombie and be way different. Just really swing for the fences because, otherwise you're kind of, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Um, And all that being said, I have said many times, I love the 2018 film. I do. I really love it. It's absolutely one of my favorite sequels. I don't know exactly where I'd rank it today, but every time I rewatch it, I notice more things about it that made me like it even more. Yeah, the Sartain stuff annoys me, but uh, it's all part of those what the fuck moments that this franchise has had plenty of them with. You know, the Cult of Thorn, another one, prime example. The existence of Season of the Witch is kind of a what the fuck moment in itself. But again, I love that film and more as time goes by. Even. Um, you know, I would say in the 80s, I was just like everybody else. Like, where's Michael Myers? What's going on? What is this even? This is too weird and but man, now I so appreciate it, and I've just always loved Halloween too. It's just always gone with Halloween. But 78, number one. You guys can all you know debate your lineups, But I love Ken's giving his rankings. Aesthetics out of here, it looks like. All right, man. You have a good night. He's wishing all of us Haddonfield slashers goodbye. Yeah, I'm about to sign off too, guys. But I just wanted to see if I missed anything. Byron says 98% overall badass script. I think that's back on Halloween Returns. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get. I mean, Marcus Dunson. Both those guys sound really down to earth, and that they're fans, and that they. It was disheartening to hear them say that their new movie, the Collected, is really no movement on that for like 2 years now. It sounds like after filming 8 days, and very upsetting to hear. But again, when you watch my interview with Damian Leone this week, which I hope you all will, one of the things we talked about, and just so you know, the interview will probably be chopped in half, like that hacksaw scene, right? But yeah, it's about a 90-minute interview all together. So the first half is going to be probably around 45 to 50 minutes, give or take. And then the second half will come out next week. But in that interview, and I don't know exactly which part it'll be in at this moment, but we do talk about the challenges of making a movie. And somebody in his shoes who is, this is everything that Halloween Kills is not. This is not studio funded, not, not a bunch of producers, not an existing IP. This is, his baby. And while there's so many rewards there, there's so many challenges, so many. And that's one of the things we talked about. Getting funding for an independent movie, getting distribution for an independent movie, just doing it all yourself. Yeah, you get all the reward, but you get all the work too, and all the stress and all the headaches. And so I forget why I started that, but but that's but check that interview out when that comes out this Wednesday. Byron wants to talk to Andy Matichak one day, maybe on MMM. Hey, I mean, I would love to interview Andy. I've reached out in the past, not real recently, but I do certainly intend to as we get again a little bit closer to Halloween Kills. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'd love to interview her myself, and she's certainly such a pivotal part of this franchise as of 2018 and now this year more than ever. So I'd love to. Maybe it'll happen if you guys follow her on social media. Um, tell her that's what you want to see. Tell her to come on the HDN channel. It can't hurt, right? Byron wants to make the comic book Halloween Night Dance into an actual film. I'd love to see that. Well, looks like Matt Vandervoort, Night 78. Yeah. Yeah. Andy is married, guys. That much we know. She is awesome. I thought she did great in 2018. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her acting chops, though. I think Kills is going to be a much more demanding, performance from her. We'll see, though. But Ken says his favorite in the whole franchise, favorite kill was from H2o and Rob's Halloween, the curb stomp. Yeah, two great curb stomps in those films, especially Sartain's. Hard to beat that head just getting squashed like a grape. All right, guys. Um, like always, I will keep this live chat open for a few minutes after I close out here. But it is officially after midnight. We are pushing, coming up on dang 2 hours, and yeah, yeah. I know she's married. Yeah, yeah, she's married. I should do a joke segment at the beginning of each show. Someone says. Like an opening monologue. Yeah, I usually do the opening show and tell, but yeah, I guess I should work on my jokes and maybe do an opening monologue like the Tonight Show or something. But all right, guys, it is after midnight. It's officially not Michael Myers Monday anymore for me here on the East Coast, anyway. Um, but thank you all, as always, for being here. Again, this was another week where I debated. You might have saw my post earlier today. I debated, should I even do a live tonight? We don't have much breaking news. But ultimately, I figured, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it because I want to connect with you guys. I mean, that's the big thing I like doing here is literally connecting, listening, hearing from you guys. I mean, and and it's not just me talking out into thin air, which it seems like sometimes here. I get some immediate feedback, which is great. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks everybody. Um, Visible Saint, thank you for being here, man. Yeah, that's something else I'll talk to you guys about maybe a little bit next week. Remind me, but I was actually found myself on the other end of an interview recently, and was interviewed for a documentary that's going to be coming out next year, and not about the franchise, although it you know of course, everything I do it comes up, but it's about Halloween itself, and I'll talk to you guys more about that when it gets closer. But that was an experience in itself, just me being interviewed because I've done so many interviews, and that was very surreal and different for me. But but that's for another time. Um, Again, thanks everybody. I see Byron doing hashtag Terrifier Tuesday. Yeah, hey, maybe we'll start doing Terrifier Tuesday live. But I definitely think we should all start pushing that hashtag, Terrifier Tuesday, and give Art the Clown some love, because that is probably, other than Halloween Kills, I'd see Terrifier 2. And again, there's no guarantee that that's even going to be released this year. But as of right now, even as a possibility for 2021, that's my other most anticipated movie of the year, as I'm sure it is for many of you guys. Love some Art the Clown, love some Terrifier, and just love Damien Leone and all his work. So that's the next time you'll see me if you subscribe to this channel, which I urge you to do right now. I always forget to say that in the beginning. Uh, but yeah, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Turn on the notifications if you haven't already so you don't miss any of these future lives. I mean, we might wake up tomorrow and here's a teaser poster, and I might just feel like we got to talk about it, y'all, and I might just jump on and do a surprise live, or um, most likely though, probably April 15th. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, it it could happen before then, but in any case, this Wednesday, Damien Leone interview part 1 is going to drop. This Friday, we'll have a new episode of the Halloween show. Lots of general Halloween news going on. Next Monday, I plan to be back here. If everything goes well, we'll do another one of these, and hopefully we'll have some more news to talk about. And then that following Wednesday will be part 2, Damien Leone and of course other interviews on the way that I'll be updating you with as we get there. Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm seeing all you guys again. Thank you all for the love. Thank you. Thank Mitchell for the super chats. You know that means so much. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting, for sharing, for liking. You know, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe. I know it's a cliche. I know you just in one ear, out the other. But every little bit helps, and it allows me to be able to come on here and do things like this. And when we talk about getting guests like Andy Matichak or Jason Blum, hey, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I mean, getting Jason Blum would be tough, but it's not unheard of. It's not impossible. You know, things are, you know, and we do have a pretty good following at HGN in general. If we could get the viewership on these lives up just a little bit more, just another tier or two, I really think, you know, some of these requests are very not out of the question. Um, and then, like I said, no matter what, I got a few surprises still up my sleeve. A few people that you may or may not know are even involved in Halloween Kills that are going to be happening this year. And it's going to be exciting. And of course, I'll be breaking the news to you guys first as anything that has to do with Myers. So I'm going to get on out of here right now. If I missed your comments or didn't answer your questions, then I apologize. Drop me a comment down below. Tell me, oh, you asshole, you didn't get to my comment, why, blah, 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 blah. And hopefully I'll get to you next week. Or I'll say, sorry, I didn't like your comment. No, I'm just kidding. I like all y'all's comments. And you guys are the best because you guys are all awesome and cool. And we're here, you know, I try not to, you know, get on negative sticks about things. So just keep it positive, keep it fun, keep it light, and, you know, keep it killer, right? So, that being said, guys, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching. And one more time, happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. See y'all next week.